Hey, Dr. Karen here with another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest, and it's a chilly day here in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. Yes, that's where I am visiting family, but it's been wonderful as well. Just all the energies, and something happened really interesting yesterday, which you may have actually felt that was August 23rd. That there was a big shift, and it could have been really uncomfortable, I think, for most of us. Apparently the indigo souls were relatively unscathed. There's something about them that protects them from this particular imbalance, and it has to do with mass consciousness. Whenever mass consciousness detoxifies or is healing something, a cultural belief, things like that, it can be pretty uncomfortable, because as that detox happens, any part of us that's like resonating with some of that negative energy that is coming out it just can feel kind of yucky. And so I noticed myself and some family members getting a little testy yesterday in the morning. And I tend to be emotion-wise pretty even-keeled. So if I am saying inappropriate, judgmental things, then I have to, think about it and go, wow, what's this energy coming up? So if you felt some resistance or some that kind of conflict stuff maybe came flying out of your mouth that you thought, gee, I shouldn't have said that, it could have been due to this particular healing phase of mass consciousness. So when that happens, what my role, I feel, is to just have that kind of quickly resolve itself so that it doesn't have to hang on. So those residual energies, to clear them. So hopefully, if you did feel a little testy on Thursday morning, at least morning, Eastern, Central, and Mountain Time, that you felt better later on in the day, as I did directed a global healing for these mass consciousness energies to just clear out. And I know from my experience the other day that definitely the rest of the day went very, very smoothly after that initial feeling. And it got to that place where, interestingly, even if you get into those episodes of you say things you feel like you shouldn't have, you don't know why you opened your mouth, you got into a conflict, you created a conflict, the other person's not happy with you. It's always an opportunity to then observe ourselves and to make amends and things like that. So that was a great opportunity for me. I was being judgmental of my niece about what she was eating. And I know some of you out there are like, well, yeah, you're medical doctor and you're into natural therapies and you understand chronic disease, and of course you would be judgmental or whatever, but I think part of manifesting the life we deserve and want and can manifest really has to do with training ourselves out of being judgmental. So it's one thing when someone hires me and says, hey, I'd like to feel better, I have chronic illness, can you please help? And then I tell them, hey, this is how to increase the vibration of your food. These are the food choices to optimize your physical 3D body function, and that kind of thing. And it's a completely different thing when it's a family member who has not specifically asked you to help them to, start basically vomiting information that they didn't ask for on them because of, what you're seeing, what their choices are. I know those of you that are sensitive, those of you that really care and want your family members to be happy and healthy, understand that on the one hand, you want to give information to empower that family member, so hopefully they'll make good choices and be healthy, because you want to see them healthy, you want to see them happy, and I really get all that. And at the same time, unless it's your kid, or somebody that you are personally responsible for, unless it's asked for, unless it's, requested, then we really need to stay out of it. And even if we want to ask questions, it's one thing, but if it gets into judgment and everything, then they can feel that energy, a mile away, like anybody can. So we have to really be careful. So I had a wonderful opportunity to actually apologize and then look back at, why am I doing this? I didn't realize the whole mass consciousness thing at that point. And that's how come it was so easy for that energy to come out. But I did realize that, yeah, I have an invested interest in this person being healthy and happy. I would hate to see them go down the road of chronic illness like so many other people, including myself, did because of just lack of knowledge or ignorance about how to optimally, treat our bodies. But and I told her, I said, I'm sorry, I was judgmental. Nobody likes to be judged. So I apologize, and I realized that you didn't ask me, to give advice. And she goes, "You're right, I didn't." So it was a great opportunity to be humble and to know that it's okay that I'm not perfect and I can make mistakes, and so you can too. And what's wonderful is that there's just when done correctly, when done right, then that's just water under the bridge. It's not something that's going to hang on for years, between two people that love each other. So that's a really cool thing. So other exciting news for this week in the Spiritual Medicine Digest is that myself and some other star seed types of healer type people were busy clearing these phenomenon I call wormhole or cosmic wormholes, that sort of like travel conduits, a little bit different from travel conduits necessarily, but include these wormholes in the cosmos between the universe, multiverse, and somehow they were getting infected or affected with lower vibrational energies, so we cleared that. So we'll check again, but as far as I know, it was better. So some of you sensors may have felt a shift or a temporary glitch where you didn't feel very good, but hopefully feel better after we did that. Of course, there's all sorts of stuff going on, so unless you know how to divinely muscle test or internal muscle test, you might not know what this discomfort is, that you're feeling is from. The other thing I wanted to share with you is that some folks, not that many, some folks, especially the really, really super sensitive types, are still what we call proxying for others. So their energy body is actually processing other people's stuff. And yes, sometimes that's unhealthy boundaries, but sometimes it's just because they're sensitive souls. And with every ascension event, they become more sensitive, as you and I are as well, more sensitive. Now, on the one hand, some people, that is their role, to do that proxying, or at least to let us know that they're proxying so we can intervene and help out with the rest of everyone else who's doing it. Or it could be that there's some imbalance causing you to be vulnerable to proxying when it's not for your highest and greatest good to do that. One of the tips that I want to share with you is that usually when you're proxying for another, it's through your energetic body. So you definitely don't want to be proxying for someone physically, because that's, potentially, physically damaging, imbalancing. But when you're proxying energetically, you can still feel it in your physical body and still have physical body symptoms. Ask, is there a part of me or parts of me who are proxying for another? And that means possibly there's more than one part of you. It may not be your entire energetic body. We've seen some people where it's just their chakras or their heart line or an organ that is proxying for another. And it could be that there is something you need to know about that before that heals. And if it is something you need to know, you can turn to the Topocan healing guides or the body code, emotion code, etc., or any of your other tools when you use divine muscle testing to figure out what it is that Source wants you to know before you heal it. And then you can go ahead, after you find whatever that is out, then you can go ahead and direct the healing. Yeah, so ask about partial proxying. We talked weeks before about multi-proxying, when there's you proxying for multiple others. Well, yeah, that can happen, although rare. It's still, possible. If you are not multi-proxying, it's possible that only you are what I call partial proxying. Only part of you is proxying for another, and there may be more information. And for some of us light being star seeds, those that used to be light beings before being embodied into a human body, sometimes we just have a role to create brand new templates, blueprints, or morphic fields, as I call them, that enable other star seeds who are in human bodies to function and function well in this world, in this currently three-dimensional world. So as we, ascend our physical bodies, which is very dense, there can be some glitches or problems, but then we create new morphic fields that actually help out all the other star seeds. So we actually elevate the entire vibration, the entire frequency of everyone on the planet, which is a good thing. Yes. Okay, so a couple of announcements. We still have some spots left for the Supercharge Your Healing Powers program, and I'm happy to announce, in addition to doing some training on honing your intuition and harnessing your healing powers, and I'm going to show you my remote healing technique, which is very fun but very simple as well, which I've never taught before in public. And one of my ways that I have used to get people out of a coma and various other serious injuries. I have permission from my mentor, Marcus Burr, to share with you his pyramid meditation, which I have found when doing every day is very, very powerful for manifesting. It really makes things a lot easier. So it's a beautiful complement to my Unlock Your Superpowers training program. So we are going to be doing some work on manifesting in addition to what I've already promised, which is helping you with your intuition, training your healing powers. And you don't have to be an energy healer. This is really geared for all levels of energy healing. So if you already do energy healing, this will be an add-on skill set. If you don't, then this will be a very simple way to do energy healing and intuitive training. And then we're going to do that manifesting training as well. Yeah, so it's going to be action-packed for the 3 days. And with the weather that I'm imagining right now, we will be doing some of these exercises outside. Yeah, so this is really a hands-on training program, but a lot of fun as well, and community, of course, with our light warrior sensitive souls. And that's what I think I'm most excited about. So that's September 7th through 9th. And if you haven't registered, check it out at superchargeyourhealing.com. So September 7th through 9th, just 2 weeks from now. So exciting. Okay, the other announcement is on Monday, so Monday the 27th of August, I will be doing my monthly mini healing show. So what this is that every month, and usually it's about the third or fourth Monday of the month, depending on when my assistant Anna can schedule me, we do a mini healing and reading show. So in the show, we'll have a topic, and then the topic we will talk about and do some group healing for the first 15, maybe 20 minutes, something like that. And then after that, it's all about your questions. So this can be general questions about, like, why do bad things happen to good people, questions like that. Or it can be a healing question like, hey, I have had abdominal pain for 6 years. I don't know what's going on. Can you, please give me some guidance? And what we'll do is we'll connect to Source and then ask Source, what is the number one thing that you need to know in order to heal this? It may not be everything you need to know, but at least the number one thing you need to know. And then we'll do a mini scan that way, ask some questions, and then do a mini healing for you. And so these have been very, very popular. So you get to call in live on the show, and any healing we do on one person will also work on you if you intend it, and it's for your highest and greatest good, even if you can't make the show live. So it's 12 noon on Monday, the 27th Eastern Time, and the exact link to the show will be sent to you via email. So get on my email list at karencan.com. And also subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel. If you can't make the show, that's perfectly okay. I know we won't be able to answer your questions then, if you don't come up live, but we're also open up the chat as well. I'll handle as many questions as I can. We'll always let Source guide us. So, even if you don't have your specific question answered, just know that on some level it's for the highest good. So I'm really excited for that show on Monday, because that's very, very popular. We usually have a lot of people calling in. So please join us. All right, guys, have a wonderful rest of the week. Love you all. Bye for now.